Welcome. In this training, we are going to understand complete search. Complete search, also known as brute force or recursive backtracking, is a method for solving a problem by searching up to the entire search space in bid to obtain the required solution. In programming contest, a contestant should develop a complete search solution when there is clearly no clever algorithm available. Complete search should be the first considered solution as it is usually easy to come up with a solution and code debug it. A bug-free complete search solution should never receive wrong answer response in programming contest as it explores the entire search space. However, many programming problems do have better than complete search solutions. Thus, a complete search solution may receive a time limit exceeded verdict. With proper analysis, you can determine which is the likely outcome, time limit exceeded versus accepted, before attempting to code anything. If complete search can likely pass the time limit, then go ahead. This will then give you more time to work on the harder problems, where complete search is too slow. In competitions, we usually need better problem solving techniques. Sometimes, running complete search on small instances of a hard problem can give us some patterns from the output that can be exploited to design faster algorithm. So in order to understand the complete search problem practically, let's just take up a live programming problem, and this live programming problem is a problem asked at UVA 750 and this is also known as 8 queen chess problem. Let me just take you to the problem. Here, 8 queens chess problem is described. Let's address the problem first. In chess, it is possible to place 8 queens on the board so that no queen can be taken by any other. Write a program that will determine all such possible arrangements for 8 queens given the initial position of one of the queens. Do not attempt to write a program which evaluates every possible 8 configuration of 8 queens placed on the board. This would require 8 raised to the power 8, which actually is considered as 8 raised to the power 8 would be somewhat around 17 million evaluations and would bring the system to its knees. There will be a reasonable runtime constraint placed on your program. So a runtime constraint can also be specified using a time constraint or something value. Now, let's come to the next point. So the input would be, the first line of the input contains number of data sets and it's followed by a blank line. Each data set contains a pair of positive integers separated by a single space. The numbers represent the square on which one of the 8 queens must be positioned. A valid square will be represented. It will not be necessary to validate the input. To standardize our notation, assume that the upper left most corner of the board is position 1/1. Let's say this is the position. Row run horizontally and top row is row 1. So the rows will run horizontally and the top row is row 1, which is this. Columns are vertical and column 1 is the leftmost column. So these verticals are columns and this one is column number 1. Any reference to a square is by row, then column. So the square is 4th row and 6th column. That means this is the 4th row and 6th column. Each data set is separated by a blank line. Now what next we need to do? We need to get an output and the output should be represented in such format. The sample output should look like somewhat like this. We should have a solution, we should have a number, then we should have a column, then separated by the column, and then the number of solutions which has to be returned and the values with respect to the columns. So first of all, what I would like to do is I would like to explain you what Queen's problem actually is and how we can use backtracking algorithm to create a quick solution for the problem. So let me just get started with a paint program wherein I'm going to decide, or else what we can do is we can simply take an Excel program as well, and let's just define some problems somewhat like this. Let's say we'll have a chess that will be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 columns, 2 and let's drag it to 1 2 3 4 7 8 columns. So this is our chess. Let's say, let us just fill this with some values, and now let's say we're going to insert some values somewhat like this. So let's say we have something like this here. If you want to go with the design or something, we can give it a shape or something. We can go for page layouts and something. We can go with some colors. We can go with some print titles or something. So instead of the design mode, let me just quickly create the table. Let me just create a chess table somewhat like this. So here it is, quite a dark one. Let me just take this design. That will look a little good. This looks a little good. This one. So let me just take this design. So now what exactly we have? We have some columns here, and we have individual rows here. So let me just drag it to up to this. So we'll take these rows. Actually we need 8 rows only, so let's come here. So now what exactly we need to do is, let me just, okay, I don't want to grade the size. So now let's say, so these are our columns and these are our rows. So now let's say it's a 8 cross 8 column, and I would like to make you understand the problem here. Let's say I would like to keep a queen here, and let me just call it as queen 1. Now the queen problem says we have to place around 8 queens on this chess board so that no queen can take the other queen. Now this means, let's say if by mistake if I keep a queen here, it is possible that the queen could be taken, and somehow let's say if I keep a queen here, so again it is possible that the queen would be taken, and if I put a queen here, so in that case also the queen would be taken, because a queen has capability to run horizontally, vertically and diagonally. So we have to place our queen in such a way that Q1 and Q2 cannot take each other. So in order to avoid the situation, what we can simply do is, let's say we can say that we cannot have queen on the same row. We cannot have another queen on the same row. So our first condition would become somewhat like this: 2 queens cannot be on same row or column. So this gives us around 8 factorial options to mark our queen. So what exactly we can say is, let's say on every individual row or column we'll have 1 queen. So around we have 8 queens. So number of possible combinations can be 8 factorial, and we can check that if row of B, let's say if we can simply check that if row of, let's say, previous column is equal to current row, then that should be like we cannot place queen on this row. Now let's come to the next point. Let's say so we cannot put a queen here, we cannot put a queen here, so we cannot put a queen here as well. But at this moment, if I come to this point, let's say I can place queen 2 here. So in this state, queen 1 is not going to kill queen 2, neither queen 2 is going to kill queen 1. Now let's come to the third point. Let's say if I would like to place queen number 3. So I cannot place a queen 3 here, I cannot place a queen 3 here, cannot place a queen 3 here, cannot place a queen 3 here. Now I can place a queen 3 at this particular place. Let's say like that. So now let's come to the fourth one. So I cannot place a queen here, I can place a queen here. Let's say, let me just put my queen 4 here. Let's come to the 5. I cannot place here, cannot place here, cannot place here. I can not place a queen here as well? Cannot here, cannot place a queen. Yeah, I can put my queen here though. Okay, so now let me just put my queen 5 here. So now if we come to queen 6, cannot place here, cannot place here. I can put my queen 6 here, so that it could not be taken by anyone. And now if we have to come to queen 7, cannot place here, could not place here, cannot place here, cannot place here, cannot place here, cannot place here. Can place my queen q7 here, 7 here. Now if we have to come to the 8th point, you can see that this is going to be killed. So I cannot put my queen 5 here, I have to put this here, queen 5. So in that case I cannot put here, I cannot put it here as well, because it's going to be killed. Let's say q5 here. So in the same way you can see that we cannot put queens here. So this is very typical, and we can have n number of solutions for such a problem. So now what we need to do is we need to understand backtracking approach, using which we can identify if we cannot place a queen, then what we can do is we can go to the previous queen, we can perform backtracking on it, and then we can rearrange the position of the queen. And let's proceed programming. So now what next we are going to do, we are going to write a simple program wherein we are going to design this, or we are going to design this and we are going to write a simple program for it. So now what next is required, let's come to the point here. We are going to write a new application. Let's create a new project. Let's say this is going to be Queen's project, and within this Queen's project I'm going to create a new class. Let's call it as Queen Solution. Within this Queen Solution I would like to create a main method. Let's call it as public static void main string arguments. Now what next we can do, within this what we will do, we are going to take a scanner object. Let's say we are going to take a new scanner, and this will be used to take the values. Okay, let's use control 1 to auto import the scanner. Now what we need a column, a row and a column wherein I would like to position my queen. So let's say I'm going to take in an integer value somewhat like a comma b, that will be indexed. I would like to take a line counter as well, and other than this I would like to take an integer array of known as row, and is equal to new integer array, and let's say I would like to fill in with some 9 values. Now so I would like to use a is equal to sc dot next integer, and b is equal to sc dot scanner dot next integer. So we are going to take these two inputs from the scanner, and since we cannot access static variables, normal variables in static method, so we are going to convert these global variables to static. Now once we have converted the variables into static, now we need to initialize our rows. So for integer I is equal to 0, I is smaller than 9, let's say we have only 8 index, so we are going to initialize our chessboard with zeros. So let's say row of I will be 0, and once I have initialized this, now I would like to print out some values, something like system.out.println, and I would like to print something like, let's say I would like to print solution, and with 3 tabs I would like to print column. Then I would like to print again system.out.println, and I would like to print something like, let's say, a hash, then I would like to 1 2 3 4 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6 comma 7 comma 8 and new line. So we'll have two new lines here, and after printing this we'll start our backtracking process, and we'll get started with backtracking from column number 1. So now what next we need, I need to create a method. This is going to be a private void backtrack method. This backtrack method is going to receive a column, and now what next we need to do, we have to perform backtracking. So we have to convert that to static as well, private static void backtrack, and we have to take in a column. And now what we need to do, once we will be backtracking, we'll check whether we can place a column or a queen on this particular column and row or not. If it is allowed to place, we can place it. If it is not allowed, we'll increment the backtracking. Okay. So now what next we need to do, first of all we need to calculate for how many number of rows we have to perform this backtracking. So for every individual column we have to check whether we can place a queen on that individual row. So let's just initialize, let's call it as try row will be first. We'll get started with the first row. We'll do this check till try row is smaller or equal to 8, because we have maximum 8 rows possible, and we are going to increment the try row. So for every individual row we are going to check the backtracking for that specific column. So now if we would like to check if we can place a queen on the column and the current try row, so then what we'll do, we are going to place that column to the try row. Okay. Else what we can do, else we can backtrack with the next column. Okay. Now what next we can do, if we have placed it, then what we can do, we can check if it's a candid solution or if it's a correct solution. If column is equal to 8, which means we have tried for each and individual columns, and if row of B is equal to A, that means it's a candid solution. So we are going to print out system.out.printf. We're going to print something like this. We're going to print %2d. We're going to have two spaces, then 1 2 3 4, and after the fourth column I would like to print my first column, and that would be something like plus plus. First of all I'm going to print my line counter, and the next will be my row of 1. The first row would be printed. Now what next we need to do, print line. We can keep it here, system.out.printf. Okay. Row 1. So first of all we like to check back if we can place it here. Have a %2d. Let's keep it a string values first. The method printf string and object type is not applicable for the arguments string and string. Okay, so what we can do is print line. We have a plus plus line counter which we have created at the top, and now I am printing a row as well. That's strange. I don't know why it's not taking it. Okay, so we'll just do the print in a couple of minutes, and before that let me just write the place code first. So let's do that. Let's just keep it static. Let's just keep it static boolean place, and I would like to take two values, integer column and integer try row. And now what next I would like to do, herein I would like to execute a for statement for integer previous column is equal to 1. So we'll check that with the first column. We'll check until the previous column is smaller than the current column value provided, and we are going to increment the value. Now within this we are going to check if row of previous is equal to column. That means if it's the current row, and if maths.absolute to check that diagonally, if row of previous minus current row is equal to math.absolute of previous minus column. So we are going to return false, that we cannot place the queen here, or else we are going to return true, that yes, we can place the queen here. So once we did that, now we are going to check if the condition, if that solution is a candidate solution. We are going to print system.out.printf printf, and now I would like to do something like this. I would like to print 2d and %d, and then I would like to print out my value, that is plus line counter. So first of all the line counter will be printed, then I'm going to print my row of first, and then I would like to get the values for the next one, that is for integer j. For the next rows, j is equal to 2, j is smaller equal to 8, and j plus plus. So we're going to again print system.out.printf, and here we are going to print space %d, and I would like to print the value for row of j. And now once all these things will be done, I'm going to execute system.out.println and /n. So this is how we have executed the statements. Now we just quickly need to check whether this printf is not working. So here we have got a solution. Let me just save all, and I would like to quickly come back with the printf case. Okay, let's save. Let me just give it a try. So let me just quickly solve that. So what exactly we need to do? So to make use of printf, what we can do is we can simply change the GRE of the project. So what we can do is let's go back to the properties here, and what we can do is either we can change the build path, or let's say we can set that to 1.5 or something. Let's apply, yes, okay, and now you can see that printf is accessible. Now let's click on save, let's click on run. So here the application is running. You have to provide in two values. Let's say the first value will be my row 1 and second value will be my column 1, and let's press enter. So now we need to finally get the solutions and that. So what I would like to do, let me just put in some modifications here. So I would like to print the printf statement with 3 specific tabs, and then I'm going to put in a /n, And once we did that, I would like to have a hash, then we'll have the values /n/n, and then we are going to perform the backtracking. And in the backtracking here, once we'll perform the backtrack, we'll place and we'll try to test whether it is that trial row. Then we are going to check whether row of b is equal to this. Then we are going to printf that statement with the line counters and the rows, and then we are going to fetch the values. And we'll simply execute backtrack of column +1 in case if there is any issue. And finally we are going to check whether we can place the values here or not. So we have got some integers a and b, and we have initialized the values, then we have given it to the backtrack. Then here on the backtrack we're just checking the values here. Next we need to do, once we have executed this if else block, we actually have to ignore that from here. We just need to have one if block, and we are going to execute that in the else block here. So in case if we are not placing the value, we are going to check whether it's a candidate solution or not. If it's not a candidate solution, we are going to proceed with backtrack on the next column. Let's save it. Let's run the code. Now we'll open console here. We'll provide in the value 1 and 1, and this time we will just simply check the solution, what exactly we got. So if it is row of 1 and column of 1, we have incremented that row and column. We're going to place that, we're going to check that whether we can do it trial row or not. So we're going to check that with row of previous is equal to the try row. Okay, and your absolute value matches this. So then we are going to execute the solution. So let's simply save it. Let's run the application. Now we are going to simply enter 1 and 1, and this time you can see that we have got some solutions. So now we have got a solution that we need to give one more tab here so that we can print out the values. Let's print one more tab. Let's click on save. Let's run that again. Let's open that. Let's say if I have provided 1 and 1 value, and this time we have got the solution. So we can say that, so our first value, on column 1, our item will be on row 1. In column 2, we will have queen on row number 5. Then column 3, row number 8. Column 4, row number 6. Column 5, row number 3. Column 6, row number 7. Column 7, row number 2. And column 8, row number 4. And these are some possible candidate solutions for this particular configuration. So I hope you understand how we can write competitive codes for individual problems, and we can quickly sort out problems in less number of lines of codes and with understanding of the algorithms. So thank you for watching the video.